Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naran Chaiva Narottamam
Narachaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayat
Tato Jaya Mudirayet
Nashtaprayasva Bhadresu
Nashtapaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttam Shloka
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, title Conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. And today's verse is verse number 61. Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Ishvara Sarva Bhutana
hridaya se arjuna tishtati
Dese Arjun Tishtati
brahmayan sarva bhutani
Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani
yantra ruddhani mayaya.
Yantra Arudhani Mayaya
Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam
hridaya se arjuna tishtati
Dese Arjuna Tishtati
brahmayan sarva bhutani
Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani
yantra ruddhani mayaya.
Yantra Rudhani Mayaya
Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam
hridaya se arjuna tishtati
Dese Arjun Tishtati
brahmayan sarva bhutani
Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani
yantra ruddhani mayaya.
Yantra Ruddhani Mayaya
Anyone would like to lead?
Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam
Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Hrude se Arjun Tishtati
hridaya se arjuna tishtati
Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani
brahmayan sarva bhutani
Yantra Rudhani Mayaya
yantra ruddhani mayaya.
ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां
Ishvara
Ishvara
Sarva
sarva
Bhutana
bhutanam
हृदयेषर्जुन तिष्ठति
hridaya
Hrude se
se arjuna
Tishtati
tishtati
भ्राम्यन् सर्वभूतानि
Brahmayan
brahmayan sarva bhutani
Bhutani
यन्त्रान् यन्त्रान् रूढानि मायया
Yantra
yantra
Rudhani
ruddhani mayaya.
ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां
ईश्वर
Ishvara Sarva
Ishvara sarva
Bhutanam
सर्वभूतानां
bhutanam
हृदये से अर्जुन तिष्ठति
hridaya
Hrude
se
se
arjuna
तिष्ठति
Arjun
tishtati
Tishtati
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि
भ्राम्यन्
Brahmayan
brahmayan
Sarva
sarva
Bhutani
bhutani
यन्त्ररूढानि मायया
Yantra
yantra
यन्त्ररूढानि
Rudhani
ruddhani
मायया
mayaya. Thank you very much. Word by word meaning. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord.
Ishvara the Supreme Lord
Sarva bhutanam,
Sarva Bhutanam
of all living entities.
of
of
all
all
living
all
entities
living entities
Hridaya se,
हृदय
Hriday
से
se
in the location of the heart.
in
in
the
the
location of
location
the
of the
heart.
heart
Arjuna, O Arjuna.
O
अर्जुन ओ
Arjuna.
अर्जुन
Jai Shri Krishna.
Tishtati resides.
तिष्ठति
Sorry, Ungasha.
Brahmayan,
भ्रामयन्
Okay.
causing to travel.
causing to
causing to
travel
travel
Sarva bhutani,
Sarva
सर्वभूतानि
सर्वभूतानि
Bhutani.
all living entities.
all
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 living
living
entities
entities.
Yantra,
यंत्र
यन्त्र
Yantra
on a machine.
on a
on a
machine
machine.
Arudhani,
आरूढानि
आरुधानि
Rudhani
being placed.
being
being
placed
placed.
Mayaya,
मायया
Maya
मायया
ya
under the spell of material energy.
under the
under the
spell of
spell of
material
material
अंडर
energy.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada of Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki Jai.
The Supreme Lord
The
the
Supreme
Supreme Lord
Lord
is situated in everyone's heart.
is
is
situated in
situated in
everyone's heart
everyone's heart.
O Arjuna,
O
O
Arjuna,
Arjuna
and is directing
and
and
is
is
directing
डायरेक्टिंग
directing
the wanderings
the
द वंडरिंग
wandering
of all living entities
of
all
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 living
living
entities
entities
who are seated
who
who
are
are
seated
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 as on a machine
as
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 an
on a
machine
machine
made of the material energy.
made of
made
the
of the
material
material
energy.
energy.
Anyone would like to read this page of purport by His Divine Grace?
Arjun was not the supreme knower, and his decision to fight or not to fight was confined to his limited discretion. Lord Krishna instructed that the individual is not all in all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or He Himself, Krishna, as the localized super soul, sits in the heart directing the living being. After changing bodies, the living entity forgets his past deeds, but the super soul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, remains the witness of all his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by the super soul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy under the direction of the super soul. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. A person seated in a high speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car. Though the living entity, the drivers may be the same. Similarly, by the order of the Supreme Soul, material nature fashions a particular type of body to a particular type of living entity so that he may work according to his past desires. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's control. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse.
Thank you very much. Let's all chant together. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य
ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै
चक्षुर्मिलितं
श्रीगुरवे नमः
श्रीगुरवे नमः
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
येन भूतले
स्थापितं येन
स्वयं
भूतले
रूपकदा मह्यं
स्वयं
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो
श्रीगुरो
श्रीयुतपदकमलं
श्रीपदकमलं
श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश
श्रीगुरुवैष्णवाञ्च
श्रीरूपं
श्रीरूपं
साग्रजातं
साग्रजातं
सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं
सगणरघुनाथान्वितं
तं
तं
सजीवं
सजीवं
साद्वैतं
साद्वैतं
सावधूतं
सावधूतं
परिजनसहितं
परिजनसहितं
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान्
राधाकृष्णपादान्
सहगणललिता
सगणललिता
श्रीविशाखावितंश्च
श्रीविशाखान्विताश्च
हे
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 कृष्णा
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
करुणा
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 सिंधु
सिन्धु
सिन्धु
दीनबन्धु
दीनबन्धु
जगत्पते
जगत्पते
गोपेश
गोपेश
गोपिकान्त
गोपिकान्त
राधाकान्त
राधाकान्त
नमस्ते
नमोऽस्तुते
तप्तकाञ्चन
तप्तकाञ्चन
गौराङ्गी
काञ्चनगौराङ्गी
राधे
राधे
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृषभानुसुते
देवी
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 प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
हरिप्रिये
हरिप्रिये
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
सिन्धुवैव च
कृपासिन्धुभैव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
जय
नमो
श्रीकृष्ण
नमः
चैतन्य
जय
प्रभु
श्रीकृष्ण
नित्यानंद
चैतन्य
श्री
प्रभु
अद्वैत गदाधर
नित्यानंद
शिवास आदि
द्वैत
गौर भक्त
गदाधर
वृंद
हरे
श्रीवासादि
हरे
गौर
कृष्ण
भक्तवृंद
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम
राम
हरे
राम
राम
हरे हरे
राम
राम
राम हरे
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 नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां
आचार्य
जगन्नाथाय
गोविंदाय
ते
नमो
नमः.
नमः
So thank you so much for joining this wonderful sangha. So today we are discussing this beautiful topic. And here in this verse, last time the Supreme Personality of Godhead in 60 spoke about swabhava, habit. The habit of an individual will do certain things, but if we superimpose higher taste on it, then the person will be more conscious or will be conscious of the Supreme. So from swabhava, Krishna is going down to a more detailed explanation of the presence of the Supreme. And here, Krishna is using a very prominent word which all of you would understand. Krishna is saying this body is operated by a yantra. in the fourth line, Krishna is saying yantra ruddhani. So we all are machines in a bodily platform. We are, but there is a program, there is a software, or there is that spark, or there is that consciousness which is driving the yantra. So there are a lot of things which is spoken here. Let's try to break it down. Krishna says, Ishvara Sarvabhutani. That means the Supreme Personality of Godhead is residing. Where he is residing? He is not residing in our hand or in our head or in our eyes. He has a specific location. Where does he resides? He resides
Hridaya,
in the
heart.
heart. He resides in the heart. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. Hrideshe. Hrideshe means in the region of Hriday or the heart, the Supreme Personality of Godhead resides. So Krishna is very particular in explaining the details about this cosmic manifestation and the importance of people like us, because we are just a machine which is a dead machine. Unless the machine is operated by a driver, the machine has no value. Sometimes you will see there are, some of you may have seen the old computers which has the power of which has the power which is even inferior to the current calculator. You might have seen some of the computers which came 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. They were so huge, and if you look at the computing power of those computers which were so huge is inferior to the current calculator. So the machines have no value. Machines have value when it is operated by a bright person. And that person, Krishna is saying, is Ishvara, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Krishna speaks, it is said Bhagavan Uvacha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we don't want to go there. It is all of you know that, because Krishna has spoken so many things which clearly emphasizes that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we can go into that in a later topic as to who is God. But here, specifically, Krishna is saying Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. That means he is present. He is present in this yantra, which is this body, which does certain things based on the direction, and this yantra travels. And Krishna is using the word Brahmana. Like in Sanskrit, there is this word, like whenever you go on a tourism, right? You're doing Brahmana, you're doing Bharat Brahman. So he's using the word Brahmana. That means this material person is doing things on the direction of this Ishvara. So that means we are directed by Ishvara to do certain things. Otherwise, we are just a dead machine, and the machine has to be operated. And the machine is being operated by who? Not us, because we are the body. We,
Mm.
but the soul drives everything. So Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hrideshe, and he's telling to Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, that this person who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is in everyone's heart. And these living entities are traveling, and these living entities are traveling, and they are under the spell of material energy, and this Supreme Personality of Godhead or Ishvara is on the top of the material energy. This material energy cannot do anything by itself. The material energy will actually take us in a bad way because it captivates. What I mean by in a bad way is the material energy will let us wander, and this wandering is because we have a free will. But this free will is under the vision of the Supreme Personality of God. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually watching. Okay? And the classic example from Mandukya Upanishad is given about this verse is what you see on the screen. As you can
Hmm.
see on the screen, there are two birds. One bird is on the branch of the tree. He is eating the fruits of the tree. The other bird is actually watching the bird which is eating the fruits of the tree. So in Mandukya Upanishad, it is compared that this body is like a tree and the fruits of the tree is eaten by the soul and which is watched by the super soul. So these birds, the two birds which you see on the screen, are essentially the soul and super soul. The soul which is eating the fruits of the tree and it's constantly being watched by another bird. So what does this mean? What does this mean for that anything and everything you are doing is being watched by the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Thinking that you will end up doing something and you will go scot free is unthinkable. And there are many scriptural references. Pitama Vishnu had to go through the motion of his final days on a bed of arrows, and he is perturbed. Yes, I have never done anything wrong in my life. Oh Krishna, why did I had to go through this? And Krishna explains to him that in certain birds, certain lives, you really uh, through your activities you caused pain to insect, and there are references to that. We don't want to go there, but essentially Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is watching all of us as and why he is watching, because he's closest to us. He's the tip of our heart, and he also mentions in chapter 4, Bahunam Janmanante, that Arjuna, you have taken birth many times. Arjuna, you have taken birth so many times, and so many births you have gone through, so many deaths you have gone through. You have forgotten because you have lived the body. But I, as the super soul, remember all of them. Because Krishna, in that verse, he is referring to Arjuna as Parantapa. That means you can conquer everybody, you can conquer all the enemies. O subduer of enemy, Parantapa. But you, your knowledge and remembrance is given by me and can be taken away by me. But I remember everything, life after life after life. And Vishwa's example. And there is this classic example given that when a thief is about to graduate and he wants to take retirement, he lets his son, who has done so many robbings in his life as an assistant, he is going to take over the reins of this father who is about to retire. And he tells, "Oh son, go, make sure you're not caught by anybody. And today is your test. And after that, I'll retire and you take over my kingdom of robbing everybody else. And you do that for your life. And then you pass on the trade secrets to your subsequent son, and so on and so forth. So this son, who has seen his father rob everything in his life like a crystal clear, skillful thief, he goes on, he goes to rob. And the next day morning, everyone is watching that this person is supposed to graduate based on the bounty he gets. So everybody is watching anxiously that he is going to come back with a full bounty, and he is more skillful than the father. And he comes back, and the next day morning, they peep through the window to see this person is coming back. They see him come back empty handed. And the father and his family ask him when he reaches the doorsteps, "What happened, son? Did you get caught? You have nothing. Did you get caught?" He says, "No, I didn't get caught." "Then what happened?" Then he said, "Did anybody see you? Did any person see you while you're doing the robbery?" He said, "No, I went, I skillfully went, opened the door, got all the bounty, all the golds, jewels. So, so you came out of the house with all the jewelry?" And this person says, "Yes, I came back." Then the father asks, "Did any cop on the road see you in the night with all your jewels? That's why he took it away from you?" He said, "No, I was so skillful that I overcome all of them. Nobody could detect anything. So I came back with all the bounty. And then when I was about to leave the town to get into my town, there was no one. I was with full bounty." Then I looked upstairs. I saw the moon is watching. When I went in, moon was not there. But now I see moon is watching. The trees are watching. So this moon and tree who are watching, there must be someone who is directing all of them to watch. I was seen by the nature. I couldn't behold myself from the fact that no one is watching. The person may not have watched me. The police and cop may not have watched me. But I am caught red-handed in front of all of them. And then I went back, crossing through the cops in the township. They couldn't see me. I went back to the same home. The owners, they couldn't see me. I was so skillful. I was so pin drop in my actions. I went, put all the bounty in the right place as if nothing has happened, and came back. And I'm reporting back to you that from today I'm not going to rob again, because whether anybody sees me or not, there is somebody who is higher, much higher beyond the cops, beyond this. They're watching me, and I can't be doing this for my living. So, so Krishna, as he mentions to Arjuna, that I have told this Bhagavad Gita to other people, not to you for the first time. I've told this to Vivaswan, Manu, and so on and so forth. So this spiritual science of Bhagavad Gita is not the first time I'm speaking to you. I've spoken about this to others, but people have forgotten, but I haven't. Therefore, my dear devotees, it's important that we have to be conscious, exactly like that thief who was conscious enough to recognize that he was doing something wrong. The first thing we change in our life, the first intent when we change or rather transform through our self realization is to implement the change in us. The first change before going out and imparting that in our family or in our job or in our project is to first impart that change in you, and then only the change can be percolated out. Because Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. Because if you're trying to preach something which you are not, Krishna in our hearts are watching, and he would consider us to be foolish to be preaching things when we ourselves are not standing to the instructions of Krishna consciousness. So we can go on and on, but would like to end here by saying whether you accept it or not, Krishna is watching all of us in anything we end up doing, any form of good, any form of bad we end up doing. Krishna is watching, and the counting can be very easily done if he is watching us so diligently. And if you think you can sort of wipe it out and try to con him, that is impossible. It's going to the janma karma, uh, guna karma is going to catch up. So, because we live a life based on our guna and karma, it's going to catch up. Therefore, we should all aspire to lead a life where we are conscious of Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. That means Lord is watching us. We better be careful in doing what is prescribed, what is recommended, and not end up doing things which can take us astray, and we will take lives and lives after lives to recognize that there is someone watching us. And why? And that's the reason why when bad things happen, devotees are not perturbed. Because sometime back, when it was Krishna who gave us the good things, we didn't thank him enough. We thought that good is because of my deeds. And whenever bad things happen to us, we blame Krishna or the Supreme because we don't. So when we cannot think beyond the happiness and sadness, what to think of beyond lifetimes, it's very difficult to recognize. So anytime, if you have understood that, you will not be perturbed. You will be sad. There's no doubting the fact that sadness will not evoke sadness in you. Sadness will evoke sadness in you, but you will not be perturbed. That's the difference between devotees and non devotees. Who have understood this verse, they will recognize that the sadness is a cyclical thing in our life and is going to be replaced with happiness. So they are not perturbed. But non devotees are very perturbed by the happiness and sadness. So be a devotee, understand the spiritual science as we discuss every Friday, and anytime we go into Guru Sadhu and Shastra, we have a stronger ammunition to face the world and not get perturbed by these little things. And more we hear Krishna Katha or Krishna's Katha by Bhagavad Gita discussions, we become stronger to face life. So, thank you so much for your kind attention. I'd like to hear some of your comments. Uh, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any comments, questions, reflections?
It's almost like a security camera that's sitting there watching, and regardless of, it's not interfering with what we're doing, but it's just there watching what was going on. So the super soul basically is saying that, hey, you have free will, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to restrict you from doing whatever you want, but be careful, I'm watching you.
Security camera, very nice. Thank you. Sometimes security camera, when the power goes up, Prabhu, security cameras can't catch, but Krishna will always catch. But yeah, very nice reflection. Krishna is watching all the time. He's
Unless,
more.
unless there's a backup battery or something there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Nice. True. Anything else? Anyone else? Very nice. Please summarize for Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. Any other comments from anyone?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Pratap Prabhu, Niranjan Prabhu,
Hare Krishna,
Bhakti
Prabhuji.
Ratnakar Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Nice class, Prabhuji. No comment.
Uh, Bhakti Ratnakar Prabhu, you may have joined a little late, but we were discussing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, I had work, Prabhuji. I got stuck at work.
So today was a very potent verse by Krishna. He's saying this body is like a machine, yantra, and the person which is controlling is someone who is called Ishvara, and Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, and he's situated. He tells where Ishvara is situated also. He does say, says, so that's why today's verse we all should internalize and be conscious of the Supreme.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, definitely. And because that's what I think you were meant, right? Hridesh, he stays in the heart basically, with the size of your thumb, right? That's what the scriptures say, Prabhuji. Yeah.
True, true. Anything else, bro? Anybody?
But Prabhuji, he stays, he drives, Prabhuji. He that's where my confusion is, Prabhuji. He's not driving it, he's making us drive. We are driving it. He's a watcher there, right? He's like a
Yes,
co-passenger, like a co-driver.
yes. So, yeah. So, Brahmanam, he uses this word
Right.
that we are wandering, right? Um, and rightly, uh, and we are actually we are traveling because of our free will. Because we have the free will, we tend to do good things, we tend to do bad things. That is so wherever we go, the the super soul in our heart goes. Okay, but he's watching. He's watching. Uh, so we are wandering. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam. We are wandering. Actually, we are taking birth. Uh, we we are getting birth from one mother this birth, some other mother next birth, and we are wandering as Brahmayan,
Right, Prabhuji.
and
What I want to say is that that we are wandering, Prabhuji, but he's always accompanying us and watching us.
exactly,
Accompanying us and watching us. He is giving us a driver's seat. That's what my point is, Prabhuji.
yeah,
He is not
definitely,
trying to. He will only drive when you are fully surrendered, Prabhuji. He may take some driving when we are fully surrendered. Otherwise, he's letting us drive. He will navigate through our consciousness, but we should be able to understand the navigation also.
yeah. So once we become conscious through this path, which Krishna is saying is Sura Sarvabhutanam, once we recognize that He is with us, we will uh, r- we will be driven by His will, but we choose because of the free will the way we want to drive. So uh, the devotees they want to be driven by the Supreme, but the non-devotees, because we are in this journey, right? We started as non-devotees. We thought we can conquer the world, we go to different places, and we had this ahankar, and because of that, we end up doing whatever we want to do. So, and he goes with us, he watches us. But once we become devotees and get and surrender, as you said, we are driven by him. So, like,
But there's a difference.
there's a
The,
difference. Yeah.
the difference is that we are always the driver. The super soul is basically watching, right? And now your free will comes under the control. Control in the sense that you follow the direction given to you by the super soul. And when you're not a devotee, you just follow any direction you feel like. And so he's not actually controlling and driving you. He is already given you the direction. So now it's a question of whether you follow his direction or you don't follow the direction. That's the
That's
only
what
difference.
Prabhuji. What we are trying to say here is that we are trying to understand here is that he will navigate if you surrender to him. Otherwise,
He's
you
not navigating, Prabhu. He's already given you the direction. You are navigating. You are navigating, following his direction. That's all.
no. If you are
I mean,
surrendered, that's the point we are telling. If you are not surrendered, he doesn't even navigate, Prabhuji. He lets you go the way you want.
no,
He's
I'm
just
saying
watching.
in either case, you are navigating. But the difference is that whether you follow the direction given to you or you don't follow the direction given to you. That's the only difference.
అదే ఇప్పుడు RSS లో
I
చాలు
think I think
సాడచ్చు
both of you are
ఖాళీ
absolutely
అది ప్రాక్టీస్
both of you are absolutely uh, spot on in many ways. I think you meant the same thing. Uh, because I think we have to understand um, in a subtle way, um, Lord is present in our heart. He's when we are doing wrong things, He is not directing us to do wrong things, but He's watching. So there is a subtle difference in that sense. So I think both of you mean the same thing, but when we do the right thing or wrong thing, we are doing it by our free will, but we think we are controlling it. We are controlling our destiny and all that. But actually, our destiny is controlled by somebody else. That is through the process of uh, guna karma vibha. Through the guna karma, our end game is decided through our actions. Uh, the Krishna mentions urdham gacchati sattvata. That means if you lead a life of goodness, you go up the planetary system in your next birth, you go up, and so on and so forth. So he's watching, but we are not letting him control our destiny. We want to control our destiny, and there is this subtle difference. I think. Uh,
Prabhuji,
I
I
think.
think when I said navigating means he's just giving directions.
Mhm,
He's that's what I meant, Prabhuji. He's
mhm.
giving just directions.
Yeah,
That he always gives directions to non-devotees also. But
yeah,
only thing is we don't want to hear those directions. We want
yeah.
to
We can catch it.
hear
We
what
don't
the
have the resonance to pick
yeah,
up the frequency.
exactly.
Yeah. So he's always there for. I think both Balaprabhu is saying the same thing. But what happens is because we are not conscious, we have uh, uh, this illusory aberration, or like sometimes you see whenever there is a dew in your spectacle, you can't see
Mhm.
clearly. That doesn't
Right.
mean there is not a tree beyond it. Because
Mhm.
some mist comes in our eyes, we can't see and we meet with an accident. Because we are, or that doesn't mean we don't have the right vision. So it's the conditioning. It's the conditioning. And we are in a situation where the conditioning overcomes us and we think we are the master. And that happens all the time. Why there is so much of family problems? So the husband thinks, so those are the aspects. It's not that God is not present in the heart of a person who is trying to torture his family
Mhm.
member. He's there, but he's watching, but he's not directing. to do wrong things. So that's the point. That's the difference we have to recognize. How to be, how to come under the control of the Supreme so that we go under his instructions. So that's why it's important for us to seek instruction from our Guru Sadhu Sastra for a better life, better Krishna conscious life. Okay, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. He
Any other comments?
always,
Yes, Prabhu.
he
Go ahead.
always, there is, it's in, I think, sixth canto, right, in Srimad Bhagavatam, when, it has been asked whether Krishna favors devotees. So he does that, means always. So though he is impartial, but still he favors to his devotees.
Yeah, he has explicitly said that, Prabhuji, that
Exactly.
though I'm impartial, but I definitely uh, support my devotees. Like
Yes.
he's partial towards devotees.
Mhm. Yep.
So that devotion will come, Prabhuji. That partiality only comes by surrender. That's what. So
Exactly.
that surrender is the most important here. As Prabhuji told, whether we pick up that signal or not, it depends upon our conditioning and our surrender or quotient of surrender, I would say. If our quotient of surrender is low, we may not pick up the signal. But if our quotient of surrender is very, very high, then technically he's basically guiding us and we are following the path.
This is the same sloka, right, Prabhuji? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tangs tathaiva bhajamyam. So means to the percentage of you
Exactly.
surrender,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that much of Krishna will take step towards you. You
Exactly.
surrender 100%,
Mhm.
so he drives everything. So you surrender 1%, so he will help you 1% on that one.
Perfect.
Right,
Perfect.
Prabhuji.
Nice. That's the verse. Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Any other comments?
Thanks.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, thanks, I was telling.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Vadanat Pranam, Lord Krishna.
Yeah, sorry, I joined late. I came to temple to take Ekadashi today. Yeah, Prabhuji, just wanted to know, like, I heard, like, in Prabhupada lectures, and the nature of Krishna and Vishnu is that, you at when you stay at home, you will be like Krishna, right? When you came to office, your attitude will change, right? And that will be kind of a Vishnu attitude, right? So when you say super soul, right? I wanted to know like how that attitude, I mean, same attitude like Vishnu, or because super soul treats every soul equal, right? But only thing is that as you told, he gives signals to whether it's a devotee or non-devotee, but based on our consciousness, whether we pick or not, okay, right? But he gives signals to everyone, right? Because he treats everyone equal. Okay? So wanted to know like how the attitude will be changed from Krishna to Super Soul, okay? Because Super Soul is the expansion of Krishna, right? So how that nature will be different?
Yeah, how the nature is going to be different between a scenario when a
The Super
person,
Soul and Krishna, right? I
Mhm.
just wanted to see both how
Yeah,
the nature.
yeah. So, okay, so as you know, Purna Purushottam Krishna is residing in the causal ocean as Karandaksha Vishnu, and from there, exhaling, inhaling, universes are getting created. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is entering into the universe. Brahma comes from the navel. He tells Brahma to go create the world, and Brahmaji creates. And then, as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, he enters into our heart, into a tiger in that picture you may have seen, and a human being, and he is present in everyone's heart, which is exactly what Krishna is saying in this verse. So, Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who is the localized presence. So, if I understood your question, so the super soul in our heart is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So, he's a person, and he is the expansion of Purnapurushottam Krishna, Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and Kshiradaksha Vishnu in our heart. So, if I heard your question correctly, he is present in our heart as the expansion of Purnapurushottam Krishna, watching you, guiding you, navigating you. But you may get the navigation from Google Maps, but you may choose to go in a different direction because you think Google Maps has got it complicated, but you have figured it right. So you may follow that, but because you do not have the traffic information, if you follow your own path, 90% of the time you may be successful, but on that day, because of traffic, you may get entangled. So, so what do we understand from here? That there is an overarching signal, and he has his personalized expansion of Kiradakshaya Vishnu present in our hearts. Most of the time we follow, but sometimes we may choose to take our free will and do some masti or something by which we don't end up doing that. So there we try to speed things up in a highway and get caught and get tickets. So the way I we should understand is, so there is it's watching, like as Prabhuji mentioned, is like a video camera. It's watching all the time. And as a representative of Kiradakshaya Vishnu, where he is the localized expansion in our heart, he is watching. He gives us direction. We follow sometimes, but sometimes we don't. And that's when we sometimes, because of our prior credits, we go scot free for the mistakes we do this life. Sometimes when we do mistakes in this life and we go scot free, we think we have done a wonderful thing. But don't make no mistake that if your past credits is over, if your all the good deeds are over and you do a mistake again, you'll be caught and you'll be punished. You may not be punished, but that will go into your accounting and you'll probably be punished subsequently. So life is a big leveler, as they say, and the person who is leveling all the charges is watching you. So as the localized expansion as Kirodakshaya Vishnu, he is watching you. So I don't know whether I touched on your question around Krishna and Vishnu, but that's exactly how the scripture talk about the presence of Vishnu in our hearts.
Yeah,
Is
one point, Prabhuji. Yes, definitely, Prabhuji. Shirodai Vishnu, that is the expansion. He clearly in the scriptures it is written. Also in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prabhuji, that whoever you pray, indirectly it is given by me only. So to answer one point, one aspect of that is, Prabhuji, if you pray him as Shirodai Vishnu, he will grant your wish as Shirodai Vishnu. If you grant him as Hanumanji, he will give as Hanumanji, Prabhuji. If you pray him as Krishna, he will give you as Krishna. So there, it's like a pointer in our programming concept, Prabhuji. He is the one who's basically the ultimate giver, whether it can be Vishnu, Hanumanji, or Jagannathji. They all are same, Prabhuji. So
Mhm.
it is how you perceive. He mounts it accordingly. Who is your Ishta Devata?
Mhm. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Coach.
And one thing I was thinking a little deep about it. Sometime back, Prabhu, you remember when the laptops and the computers were not
हाँ
connected,
अर्धी कपज बता नहीं
when the laptops and desktops were not well network connected, internet was not prevalent, you would end up installing software on the top of software. After some time, the Dell would tell you that, hey, you have installed so many software that it hasn't kept track of the softwares you have uploaded. But there is one thing which you need to reset to get all your softwares, relearn what it had, and it will tell you that there is a BIOS battery. If you remember those laptops, it'll be like a, a quarter coin like battery, which is the basic input output system of your desktop. So you plop. I have taken out that in my prior thing. So I took it out, and after that the software starts load. So the point I want to emphasize is there is that spark, that there is something which remembers, even if that you turn off the computer, there is something which is remembering, and that is the BIOS battery in this example. Likewise, we have this super soul, which is exactly like that. It remembers, and at the time of crisis, you just have to reset it, the BIOS battery in this example. So it is very important that we recognize that there is someone else controlling our life, and that is happens to be the super soul, and we have to give his share of due, and he's always watching. So you be conscious of him, and that is what Krishna consciousness is all about. That you are aware that somebody else is controlling you, not you. And Krishna Prabhupada emphasized the importance of Krishna consciousness in all of our life. And as long as we take it seriously, we'll all be a better person. And we know that somebody is watching and you won't do any mistakes in your life. You won't do anything wrong. So that's the essence of some of these thoughts.
Yeah, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Nice example. And also, Prabhuji, I postponed my trip. Actually, I planned everything for the Kartik month, but like there's recently one H1B rule came up,
Mhm.
and my employer advised me that this is not the right time to travel. So I have to postpone my trip. I have to cancel my flight ticket.
Okay. No worries, Prabhu. You can do Kartik with devotees here. We'll have a engaging Kartik season with so many Damodar programs and everything. So there is all the more excitement to make it better here as well. If not better than a Dham Yatra, but definitely not less than that in any form or shape.
And again, it's a Krishna's plan, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a plan that he wants you to stay here for some reason which we don't know,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
we will know when we pass the time.
And if when you think about why Krishna has done it for you, I can tell you some of the reasons you're better off staying here now than there are other reasons, and the weather over there is not the best now. I just came back, and every day it's raining, every day it's sultry. So I don't know. In, it's really going through a big transformation as far as weather is concerned. And the cloud burst you
Mm-hmm.
hear in Calcutta, if you see the cloudburst videos, it's as if a bucket of water is getting flooded, and within an hour, the water is up there in the second floor of the building. So, a lot of so Krishna has plans for you, has good plans for you. Anything else? So let's end here, Prabhu, and wish you the Sarah brings you resolute to fight the evil and spark good over evil in your lives, and you constantly do good to everyone. So, if there is nothing, we can end here today. Um, Wishing all of you a happy Dasara and a happy upcoming Kartik month when we'll end up doing a lot of Damodar events and talk about and discuss about the glories of Lord Damodar in our upcoming discussions. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I want to offer obeisances to the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha
Vancha
Kalpatarus
kalpatarubhyasya
Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
vaishnavebhyo namo
Namo
namo.
Namo Jai
Hmm.
Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Srila
Jai
Prabhupada Ki
Pad ki
Jai
jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.